Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Okay, perkenalkan, nama saya Muhammad Faiz bin Muhammad Fazil. Saya dari FMM Group B. Okey, untuk tajuk pembentangan kita hari ini ialah Facility Management Monitoring (FMM). Kompetensi unit title Human Resource Administration, kod CU seperti yang dinyatakan dan NOS level 4. Okey, untuk tugasan ni kita tengok job description untuk dua jawatan yang berbeza. Yang pertama adalah Facility Manager, vacancy selamai 3 orang, reporting to General Manager. Dan jawatan yang kedua adalah Technician, vacancy seramai 7 orang dan report kepada Facility Manager. So, kedua-dua jawatan tersebut adalah di Department Operation dan location site adalah di Petaling Jaya, Subang Jaya dan Bestari Jaya. Okey, job purpose untuk Facility Manager adalah responsible for the security, maintenance and services of work facilities to ensure that they meet the needs of the organisation and its employees. Untuk job purpose Technician, responsible for the operation and maintenance of biomanufacturing buildings and equipment. Facilities Technician perform preventive maintenance on equipment and troubleshoot problems. They repair equipment and system when they break. They must document everything they do. Okey, untuk proses interview terbagi kepada 3, before, during dan after. So, untuk before interview process, langkah yang pertama adalah preparation. Bahagian A, preparation for interview schedule, mengandungi yang pertama identify objective, yang kedua identify who needs to be interviewed, yang ketiga create an interview schedule dan book the interviews. Untuk bahagian B, preparing the interview guide. Yang pertama adalah dengan determine the objective, plan the structure of the interview, prepare questions and prepare additional notes. So, untuk interview proses, during interview proses lah, semasa proses interview dijalankan. Okey, kita tengok point 2.1 adalah structured question. So, untuk introduction, kita kenal pasti possible place of work, reason for the interview, put the interviewee is, and taking notes. Untuk body, listen to the answer, avoid making criticism, control the interview, stay focused, allow the interviewee to ask questions. Dan untuk wrap up, kita test the interviewee, advise the next step and the time frame. Point 2.2 ialah build rapport. Introduction, gain rapport first, make the interviewee feel ease. Sequence of the interview items, general before specific, external before internal, historic before current. 2.3 listening and questioning. Listen and gain the information, interrupt only if interviewee has drifted too far from the topic. Ask open question. Use clear direct paraphrasing. Ask how, what or when. Ask closed questions. To avoid appearing as interrogator, ask in order to understand rather than impress. Dan be concise. 2.4 probe questioning. Honing in a particular area of interest and drilling down to obtain more detail. So, advantage dia adalah provide data on new aspect, supplies detail in content, show interest in conversation. Dan disadvantages dia adalah can appear threatening. Interview proses yang seterusnya, 2.5, paraphrasing. To confirm or clarity something that interviewee has said. First level adalah untuk confirm expressed thought. Second level adalah untuk confirm implied thoughts. Third level adalah surface core thoughts. Untuk interview proses, after interview review. Interview note area valuable when sharing information with other team members. So the interviewer must write down interview note as soon as possible after the interview. Outline key findings. Note emerging hypothesis. Consider how findings fit with earlier evidence. Identify gaps to be filled in subsequent interview. So untuk performance appraisal and remuneration, kita tengok maksud performance appraisal tu. Performance appraisal method is a systematic evaluation of an individual with respect to performance on the job and individual's potential for development. Okay. It is formal, structured system of measuring, evaluating job-related behaviors and outcomes to discover reasons of performance and how to perform effectively in future so that the employee, organisation and society all benefits. Untuk tugasan kali ini, saya pilih performance appraisal yang kita gunakan adalah KPI. Kita tengok apa itu KPI. A KPI is a type of measurement that helps you understand how your organisation or department is performing. So, characteristic of KPI yang pertama adalah measurable. If it is not measurable variable, then it is not a KPI. Yang kedua, accessible. The benchmark set must be based on realistic targets for what operational success or failure represents. Yang ketiga, specific. In terms of goals, it needs to be based on concrete action and be well defined. Dan yang terakhir, yang keempat adalah important. This benchmark must be relevant for the business. Monitoring inconsequential data is a waste of effort. Performance appraisal. Yang seterusnya kita tengok dia punya benefit. Yang pertama adalah measure result, set business goal, offer incentive, find issues, strengthen strategy, align marketing and sales effort, reduce cost. Seterusnya, kita tengok 6 steps performance appraisal process. Yang pertama adalah establish performance standard. Yang kedua, communicate performance standard. Yang ketiga, measure performance. Yang keempat, compare performance to standards. Yang kelima, discuss the appraisal with the employee. Dan yang keenam, implement personal action. Untuk reward dan penalty system, yang pertama kita tengok dulu maksud reward tu. Rewards can be defined as a particular monetary return, object or event that an employee receive in exchange for his or her work for having done something well. Quotes dari Sharps tahun 2006. Okay, so kita tengok sistem total reward system yang kita boleh guna pakai. Yang pertama adalah extrinsic, di mana compensation, fixed pay or variable pay. Yang kedua, benefits, income protection, paid time off, well-being and work life. Yang ketiga, work environment and conditions, recognition, learning and development, promotions, leadership. Seterusnya adalah intrinsic reward, meaningfulness, choice of autonomy, growth, competence and progress, community. So keseluruhan sistem reward ni dia akan mempengaruhi attitudes, behaviors, performance and well-being, dan seterusnya dia akan mempengaruhi organizational sustainability. Untuk punishment pula, penalty system. Punishment is a process of either administering an unpleasant stimulus, such as warning letter or a suspension, or withholding a reward, such as not granting a scheduled pay increase because of employees' job deficiencies. Punishment in an organization can be defined as a leader's application of a negative consequence or the withdrawal of a positive consequence from someone under his or her supervision. So type of penalties yang boleh digunakan pakai adalah 4. Yang pertama ialah verbal warning. When a worker displays a poor work ethic or simply isn't doing her job correctly, an employer will typically call it to her attention through verbal warning. Ini langkah yang pertama lah. Dan langkah yang kedua adalah letter of reprimand. A letter of reprimand documents exactly what the employee did wrong, how to correct it, and how more serious consequences might follow if the employee repeats the poor behavior. Dan yang ketiga adalah suspension. If the infraction is serious enough, the employee might be suspended from work. Dan yang terakhir, termination. After a prior efforts to deal with an employee's incompetence have failed, it's probably time to fire the employee. So itu saja untuk tugasan kali ini. Terima kasih bagi yang sudah mendengar. Satu kata-kata daripada Imam Ali alaihissalam, saya nak petik kat sini. Everything diminish when it is used except knowledge. So mungkin bermanfaat untuk kita sebarkan ilmu yang kita ada, kongsikan dengan orang lain. Itu saja daripada saya. Sekian, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.